pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes? First by legislator Twist, second by legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. On to DC4, resolution authorizing budget modification for the consulting agreement with Alex Bovich concerning the Addis ethanol Fulton property. Got a first by legislator Hall, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4.
Second motion. We've got a second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to move HS3, HS4, HS5 as a block as well.
Second. You got a second by legislator Twist. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we move T4 and IT2, IT3, IT4, IT6, IT7, IT8, and IT9 as a block.
We have a second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. On to send personnel. FD1, resolution fixing time and place for public hearing on the tentative county budget for the year 2024, to be on the 14th of December, 7 p.m. here in legislative chambers.
Move it.
Second.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator House. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. On to FP2, resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to the proposed County of Oswego local law number 6 of the year 2023, local law amending local law number 3 of 2021, providing for the salaries of certain elected county officials of the County of Oswego.
Move it.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator House. Any discussion? In favor? Any opposed? Carries. FT3, resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to the proposed County of Oswego local law number 7 of the year 2023 entitled local law overriding the tax levy limit for fiscal year 2024. This is standard. We do this each year. If we should run into where we need to go over the tax cap. This will be on the 14th of December at 2 p.m. and change.
Move it.
First by legislator House, second by legislator Holst. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. FP4, resolution authorizing budget modification to increase capital project number 0822, contract management system. This was identified by our purchasing director. We need to increase this by $7,500, which would put a total authorization of $102.50.
Move it.
First by legislator Walpole,
Second.
second by legislator House. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. FP5, resolution authorizing execution of agreement with the Oswego County Professional Association. ACWA. This is on the contract agreement that our people work so hard to achieve. First by legislator Walpole.
Second.
Yeah.
Still looking for a second?
Yes.
No, second.
There a second by legislator House? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Be patient. Any decisions? First, we have set salary for first assistant for public defender's office at a salary grade 90, step 21, and a total of $140,398. First by legislator House, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. Second, we have set salary for social worker for public defender's office at APA grade 40, $65,000. First by legislator Walpole,
No, second.
second by legislator Holst. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you very much. Reporting departments, personnel position vacancy report. Any James?
So as of our report that was run on October 15th, the 2023 year-to-date savings is $6,826,157. Still a little bit more than this time last year. Also, I want to bring up a couple of my staff members went to SUNY Oswego and spoke at a human resource management class.
Mhm.
One of the professors has reached out and asked if they would come and speak. It was very productive. The students had a bunch of questions and they went over what typical services that HR provides at the county level. They also went over services that are provided amongst other departments in our county, went over like the whole exam process and application process, and received feedback from them what are they looking for in jobs and benefits that they would like to have after graduation or in a job. So it was really nice, and the professor is hoping to have us back each semester during his class, and also it's going to bring us into one of his labor relations classes to discuss negotiations and whatnot. So pretty positive to
Excellent.
get there, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That sounds great.
Mhm.
I'm sure you'll give us some feedback on what they're looking for down there.
Yes, yeah. Well, they had really good, they were interested in really looking ahead at retirement benefits and health insurance and whatnot. So it's everything we offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
Very good. Phil, administrator.
Yes, I have completed and filed with the clerk the draft 2024 budget. If you haven't received your copy yet, we have some extras in the administrator's office. Department heads will receive one electronically after this meeting. Just a couple of highlights of it. We are almost unbelievably to myself, we did come in just under the tax cap and cost of the ACPA contract, should it go forward for full approval Thursday, will still be slightly under the tax cap. So it's a bit razor thin this year, but overall, I think the departments did a very good job in the face of a lot of budget pressure put on this year from outside sources such as the interception of Medicaid by the state, the loss of property sales proceeds, expenses in the medical for the jail, and a variety of others that we don't control but have to compensate for within the budget. So I appreciate all the work everybody did on it.
Can you remind us again how much that interception, that was?
I got it right here. New York State intercepted or snatched, or whatever word you want to use, $2.8 million that we would normally receive from the federal government to help us pay for Medicaid. They kept it for themselves because the state wanted to expand eligibility for Medicaid and didn't have the money to do it themselves, so treated us and all counties like a bank and took the money. New York State retirement went up $1.9 million on us. Foster care and adoption, again, New York State increased the mandatory rates we have to pay. Between the two of them, it's a $3.6 million increase. We lost $1.1 million in revenue because of the U.S. Supreme Court decision that prevents us from keeping the proceeds from foreclosed property sales. General medical, the net difference on that is $1.7 million to meet that state mandate for medical services. Do have some other positives though. Sales tax has remained fairly strong, so we're able to compensate for a portion of those by increasing our sales tax forecast. We also have the ARPA money and opioid money. The opioid money comes from settlements with the pharmacy companies that we're going to get money every year until the 2030s. We're able to use some of that money to pay for opioid services within our departments, more specifically DSS, mental health, and the jail contract, medical contract. The ARPA, internal ARPA fund, we have maintained our goals of trying to use this for new things that give us a return on investment, either financially or quality of service or quality of life. So we have some new initiatives in the budget that we are paying for on a drawdown plan between now and 2026 so that it eases into the operating budget. It is not a shock to taxpayers for some of these new initiatives, such as the workforce development department, our drone program, our emergency medical services program, taking on the Legends complex, and centralized coordination of our recreation programs, and our transportation mobility management program. So those two sources of funds, one of which we have through 26 and the other well into the 2030s, have helped us quite a bit in bringing this in under the tax cap. Moving forward, the committees will meet next week in special meetings simply to do nothing but budget. Once they have made their recommendations, finance and personnel will meet Thursday morning to make final recommendations and forward the budget to the legislature so it becomes a tentative budget for the public hearing. But you can continue to meet between now and December 14th to make any other changes, this committee, other committees. So it's still a work in progress. One thing that you're getting new this year at the request of the vice chairman to help identify areas of inquiry is a sort of an abbreviated version of the budget. We're running copies now, so we'll have it for you, maybe some of you here for the end of the day today. It is simply the salary, equipment, and contractual lines for 23 adopted, 24 proposed, and the increase-decrease difference. And it's color-coded. Basically, red means good, black means bad. So if you want to, this may be easier to look at to identify areas of things you want to ask your departments about next week. We'll get this to you for that purpose. In terms of reserves and fund balance, things are still a bit fluid because of expenses that come on. Treasurer's giving us a report today on reserves that we still have about 9 million. Ideally, it should be about double that. I don't know if we're going to have 9 million and something else to put towards that. That was my initial plan, but I need to reevaluate that and bring that back to you in December. My hope would be to adopt a budget and a reserves plan for next year together, so you have the whole picture of a financial plan for next year.
Very good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Actually, I passed out the sales tax, as the county administrator mentioned, we're up about 1.5 million over last year. And the reserves are actually, as you still mentioned, or the county administrator mentioned, it's still low, but it's up to you what you want to do. And I do a couple things. If there's no question about sales tax at the time, it's interesting because the sales tax, we can go three checks and lose money and then get one check that kind of compensates. So it's kind of an interesting year this year, how that works out. But a couple things real quick. We're looking at the foreclosure process, working with the state. Actually, I'm on calls weekly in regards to how we handle that. Obviously, it's a big deficit, not only for our county, but for most of the counties in New York State. So we're trying to figure out what the regulation in New York State, maybe we can help mold that so that it help the county understand what's going on. They just kind of said, put a moratorium and froze it. But at least now they're starting to talk about how to move forward with that. And I'm included. I was just elected president of the Treasurers and Finances Officers Association. So now they've included me on all the calls. And hopefully we can get some resolution pretty quick so that we can, because our budget, it would help if we can start understanding what I can charge for a fee for doing foreclosures. The other thing is that's interesting and great news is that the COR process that you actually allowed me to purchase and we developed internally here, the state has reached out and wants to understand how it works because they have a mandate that they want to get an online COR process, certificate of residency process, by the end of 2024. Not many, if any, have an online process except us. So we'll be meeting with them and trying to implement that, see what they can do. Maybe they can take it and do something where it could go across the state and be effective. It's very effective down in the office. Colleges maybe don't like it too much, but obviously kids and students nowadays can sign up online on their phone. And a reconciliation process is all pretty much automated. No paper, no students coming in, and it's a really neat process. The state heard about it because other counties are buying it from us, from the company that we did, that we merged with, which was General Code. They helped us, and it's great news. We're actually making some headway. The state's starting to help out and listen. So other than that, we need people. I'm short, and we'll be meeting and seeing how we can get some people. So.
Thanks for your update. I appreciate it.
What's that?
You're not that short.
No people, I just keep getting beaten down.
Purchasing. Oh,
Well, I finally finished the draft purchase card policy and procedure, and I'm waiting for the budget season to be over so people can sit down and review it with me, because I'd like to implement that going forward, starting in January if we can, or maybe need a little break before we tackle something new. We're also working, we have a contract management system where we sign contracts and we keep, they're there in the database, but we also have a contract system in Munis. So I've been working with Bob in IT, and we have some training this month, so we'll be able to answer some people's questions on stuff. How to use each piece is used differently and for different reasons, but they couldn't fit us in for training until mid-December, so hopefully beginning of next year, we'll have some. And as far as fixed assets or capital assets go, we're still waiting for our printer to come in, so although we wanted to start in the fall. It looks like we won't be able to start that until the spring. And that's it.
Keep us updated on your new contract with the software and all that stuff. Keep
Okay,
us updated on that as we go forward.
well,
Very good. Does anybody else have anything to add today? Second. There's the legislative wall pulls.
Did you have a report?
You did it.
Okay.
Did it? Where was I? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, we're not, but
You found out.
Yeah, you were,
I was thinking about the next.
I have a first by legislative Walpole, second by legislative Twist. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Yeah, basically,
Oh, yeah.